After deciding that we needed to do something to mark this occasion, we gave an invitation to a community celebration. Now, it was a long engagement because due to COVID and everything else, it's dragged out a bit. But it's a good thing, I suppose, in a sense, because we're delighted to be hosting it today. As it happens, it's now much better time. Kieran is settling into his retirement, and Dr. Wallace and her team are getting used to seeing Athea. So everything is going according to plan at the moment. Now, this was a very, very easy thing to organise because, you know, Kieran is so popular and held in such high regard that everybody wanted to help, and everybody wanted to do something.
Kieran's first visit to Athea was in 1981 when his late father-in-law, Michael O'Brien, decided to demonstrate a shortcut from Rathkeale to Ballybunion. Little did he know at the time that sweet Athea would become his future home, and the people of the parish would soon fondly adopt him and his family. In turn, Kieran was about to adopt and affectionately care for thousands of patients from Athea and the surrounding area. As fate would have it, in 1984, following the death of Dr. Hayes and the services of temporary doctors including Dr. Burke and Dr. O'Halloran in the intervening years, the post of a GP for the Athea Corrikerry area was advertised. Encouraged by his wife Val, a native of nearby Rathkeale, Kieran decided to pay a second visit. He was now coming to view Athea as a potential home and practice, together with two young children, Kira and Joanne. Unfazed by the number of public houses in Athea per head of population at the time, or by the sight of the rush, Kieran felt a great sense of warmth and well-being and decided to apply for the GP contract. In February 1987, Kieran and Val faced the biggest challenge of their lives with the loss of their third child, Amy Murphy, RIP, who passed away a few hours following birth. Amy was buried in Holy Cross, leaving behind a heartbroken family. The Athea people took the young family under their wings, providing comfort and support. The Murphy family attributes this period of their lives to a time when lasting friendships and foundations were formed within the community. As time moved on, a site was secured on the Listowel Road, where Kieran and Val would build their Athea home and adjoining practice. The couple affectionately christened the surgery Westbury Medical Centre, as a tribute to happy times at an address of the same name whilst residing in Wilton, County Cork. In 1991, a chemist shop was also established in the village by Tob and Marie Lane, and thanks to Kieran and his team, the delivery of medical services in the parish had reached new standards. Our resident doctor continued to improve the care of his patients by expanding the services offered at Westbury Medical Centre, and also by becoming a trainer for GPs in 1990. Kieran provided a positive educational learning environment for GPs in training, where they observed and appreciated for themselves firsthand the respect and empathy Kieran always demonstrated towards his patients, thus inspiring them to go on to become effective GPs in their chosen areas. Kieran later formed a partnership with Dr. Lehan in Tarbert, allowing him some time away from the practice, including the construction of the footbridge, the installation of the defibrillator telephone box, and fundraising for the renovation of our own community hall. In 2008, together with Rod Byrne, Kieran launched the Athea Community First Responders, which were later linked to the ambulance call-out service. Kieran has given enormous time over the years to sharpen the CFR skills with advice and support on CFR call-outs. Our own GP was also a regular contributor to the Athea Parish Journal, educating us on the history and advancement of medical care and creating awareness around the benefits of positive health and well-being. A recent proud accomplishment for Kieran was the inclusion of one of his articles in his favourite publication, well after the Athea Journal of course, in Flight Time International magazine in July 2021. Tá grás specialte a Kieran Darchanga Dukas. Kieran also shares a love of our native language and would often encourage his children to converse with him through Irish. His daughter Emma recalls this led to very interesting cards to improve his fitness level. Kieran was also a victim of a surprise skydive brought on to him by his daughter Emma, which he executed to perfection. Unfortunately, we have no footage to share with you of the dive here today. He has also developed a softer side, developing a love for chick flick movies, which we are told often caused him to become quite emotional. Kieran was also proud to feature on the painting of one of Jim Dunn's murals, portraying keeping a watchful and caring eye over the village. The outset of COVID-19 placed many demands on Kieran and his staff, having to adapt to a changing environment. The introduction of electronic prescriptions and over-the-phone or video appointments were the new challenging norm. Kieran, no stone was left unturned, and finally there was a positive outcome with the appointment of Dr. Breed Wallace in partnership with Dr. Patrice Kennelly, ensuring the continuation of the medical service in Athea. Today, we also remember and pay tribute to all the members of the staff who have worked and continue to work at Westbury Medical Centre, each providing an invaluable service to our community. You will see many staff pictured in the slideshow of images actually. We would also like to pay special mention to Margaret Collins, who also retired quietly during COVID. There is no person's life in the parish that hasn't been positively influenced by the kind and caring nature of the man we have been so proud to call our Dr. Kieran Murphy. He has cared for us, cured us, cried with us, and helped us to come to terms with some of the biggest challenges we have faced in our lives. A new and exciting chapter now begins for Kieran, as his number one priority can now be his family. Wife Val, children Joanne, Kira, Emma, Paul, Brian and Michaela, and his 8 grandchildren, soon to be 9.
As Dr. Kieran from Athea, who came from West Cork to the banks of the Gale, your advice and kindness it never did fail. Sweet lovely Athea became your home, and we are all blessed to call you our own. Your words of wisdom, compassion and care, forever and ever will always be there. Our community charmed with a doctor so dear, your knowledge and warmth and listening ear, a man of the people, true and true, We will never again have the likes of you. Never judgmental, never fussed. It's in Dr. Murphy we placed our trust. Your patience and empathy is pure and true. No matter the element, you knew what to do.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And worse than that, Sean is after stealing about 40% of the content. So you'll excuse me if there's a little bit of repetition and maybe a little bit bad, as they say, unused as I am to public speaking. But normally when I'm speaking, I'm usually speaking to a PowerPoint presentation or something like that. And then I was going to do index cards, and then I sort of said, no, I might miss some of the punchlines if I actually did that. So I actually did write it out in the script, but I'm of an age where I had to write it out or print it out in a large font. So good afternoon, everybody. Thanks a million. Thanks for being here. I'm delighted that everybody is referring me just to as Kieran, because I'm now retired, and I know a lot of people will call me Dr. Kieran or Dr. Murphy or Dr. And when I came first, because I think early in your career you're not that sure of yourself. So I liked being called Dr. Murphy because it kind of persuaded me that maybe I had something. Whereas now I much prefer to be called Kieran because that side is kind of behind us.
Christy.
I heard that. My official first name is Christopher Kieran. And the first person that used to take the business management course, and on the course they were all asked to present sort of something of a portfolio of work. So Breeders was so good that they actually copied it and gave it to everybody on the course. And the wonderful thing is that for better or worse, Breeder managed to stick with me till the day I retired. And has continued into the new era, so that's that element of continuity. I shouldn't have bothered writing this speech, I'm kind of going off script the whole time. I must also, of course, take the opportunity to thank the other members of the team. As you mentioned, Margaret Collins wasn't able to be here today because her son got married, Tom got married on Friday, and there was a family reunion, so we hope that they really enjoyed that. But Margaret was our first practice nurse, and again one of the first practice nurses in the area. Both herself and Mina, who joined her in '96, became very active members of the Practice Nurses Association. Mina was fantastic, she became our quartermaster. If ever there was something to be bought, we'd ask Mina to source it. She would source it, get a price, and then try and beat them down a couple. Yeah. And then Adele Wallace came to try and fill Amina's considerable shoes and did an incredible job of it. And of course Mary Ann Stack then was assisting Breda and brightened our days with her laughter and her ready smile. We had Dr. John Lynn with us for nearly 10 years, and in the more recent years Patrice Kennelly was trying to fill his shoes. Well, that wouldn't be really right. Patrice does kind of plough her own furrow very much. But the wonderful thing about Patrice is this almost maternal sense that you have when you're in with her. She almost, as if she wraps her arms around you, that sense of caring. Of course, there's been other doctors who have worked with us as well. More recently, Maura Crowley and Dr. Mary Ann Barry, who's here with us as well today. I'm delighted to see. And so they used to say that Westbury Medical Centre was a nice place to work. There was a good work atmosphere. And we had a great team that helped us deliver the best care we could to the population of Athea and surrounding parishes. As Sean mentioned, when I was contemplating retirement, my greatest concern is that I wouldn't just shut the door, that I'd leave somebody after me. And thanks be to God, Breed Wallace took over the reins and decided to keep the team together, initially at least, so it was a very smooth changeover. And I want to wish her all the best as she embarks on her career as, inverted commas, the doctor in the day.
anybody else who contributed. Thanks to all our bakers, all the trainers that came up here today, and their fees, and but everyone who played a part in making this, I think, a memorable day for all of us, not just for Kieran and Robert. It's a memorable day for all of us. And so we go down to the far end and we'll take it on from there.
Isn't that something? I want to thank, in particular to thank Jacqueline and Sarah O'Connor for this cake. Thank you, Jacqueline and Sarah.